hopefully these images will come out alright, and hopefully you can hear this audio. Afternoon, how you doing? Well, this week I've come up to Aberdeen. I'm here to pick Leia up. She's coming home for a couple of weeks, so we've always wanted to come up and do a Munro up in the Cairngorms here. So this afternoon we've decided to walk to the top of Loch Nagar, and we're going to wild camp at the top there. So we started out this afternoon. As you can probably see, I'm already getting bitten by midges, and we must be 2,000 feet up. There's no wind at all at the minute. We do keep getting the odd shower. We had still actually there, but I bet you can't see it on here. We had a rainbow coming up the side of the valley there, which I've taken a picture of, so if that's come out I'll put that up in a minute. And we're off up in that direction. I can see some people actually coming down the path on the top, and then we've got to go round, and then we'll be looking down into a corrie, and there's a lock in the bottom. So yeah, we're hoping to find a nice place to wild camp. And then light's a bit iffy. There's a lot of cloud around at the minute, but you never know what the light's going to do, so it could potentially get a lot better later on. And then obviously there's potential for astrophotography up here as well, and then we'll get some shots in the morning before we make our way down, and then we'll take any shots that we see on the way down, because we'll probably be up early. So yeah, we've just covered ourselves in midgie spray to try and fend them off for a little bit. Took a couple of shots, and yeah, we'll pack up and head back off up this mountain. So I'll catch up with you a bit later on. How you doing? Well, we've made it more or less to the top of Loch Nagar. We were running out of water actually, and we were wondering whether we were going to be able to wild camp or not, but we've just spied a bit of a water source. I'm going to turn you into the sun now, over here. So we've just stopped for a brew, and I think now what we're going to do, we head over in that direction and then put the tent up somewhere over there, find somewhere nice and flat. We've had some rain showers coming in, and we've taken a couple of shots of that coming over the mountains in the background. For those of you who've seen my landscape shots before, I do like to sort of layer when you're in sort of mountainous country like this, I do like to use a long lens and try and layer the mountains, and yeah, it looks quite effective. So we've took a couple of shots, myself and Leia. I'm using the Nikon. It's the first time I've come out to do some landscape photography with it, so I've got the Nikon Z8 and also the 24-120 lens, which is brilliant for this sort of photography because it does give you that reach to do that sort of layering shot. So yeah, that's what we've been up to so far. As I say, we've just had a drink. It looks like we've got a little bit more rain. It's really weird up here. I mean, end of July and it's like middle of April, to be fair. It's especially looking at some of the clouds, but this could mean that we get some lovely evening light, so that's what we're hoping for. But I'll put that shot up now, and then, as I say, if we do take any more, I'll try and do a little bit of recording and tell you what I'm doing as I'm doing it, and we'll have a discussion about what we're going to do next, whether we're putting the tent up or whether we're, I don't know, lingering around a bit and waiting for the sun to go down. So anyway, I'll catch you later on. Right, hello folks, back again. We managed to get to the top, and we've had some more rain, so we weren't going to put the tent up as early as this. I think we've probably put it up, what time, about 8 o'clock. We were going to leave it until it was starting to get dark, but we saw the rain coming in across the valley, so we quickly got the tent up and decided to have some food and a drink, which is what we've just done. as you might be able to hear now, there's no rain coming down on the tent, so in a minute we're going to go out, get the cameras out and go and see what sort of weather we've got out there now, whether it's completely greyed over or whether we might potentially get some nice light. So if we do, I'll see you up on the top there. Right, so I did say I'd come back to you when we get up onto the cliff face here. Where we've camped, we've come back a little bit off the top of Loch Nagar, simply because we were looking for a place where we could get some tent pegs, and we've got a place where there wasn't rock, so we've found probably the only place up here. I think we've had to drop down a little bit, and as you can see with the weather, if I just spin you round, it is amazing up here today. Directly behind me there's a thick bank of cloud coming. The sun is going down in this direction, and it looks actually like Mordor across there. There's just one little tiny bit of light behind a mountain across there, and just black sky. So we're going to try and get some pictures of that. And I've got Leia across here, and she's taking images, and this cloud spilling down over the cliffs here. So what I've just done, I've actually just taken some shots in that direction, and I've used Leia as part of the composition, just really so that to give some scale to the whole thing. So you've got these massive cliffs. I'm not doing anything special, I'm shooting at 1/40th of a second f8 just to get everything in focus. I've not put any filters or anything on, and it's quite a simple composition. It's just the cliff face there, the rock face, and the clouds billowing over the top and dropping down into the valley below, and then you've got layers, just to give some scale to the image, really. So yeah, I haven't had to do a lot to it. I've not put any filters on, as I say. Don't really need them for this shot. Yeah, let me know what you think. I love landscape photography because you never really know what you're going to get. And oh, hold on. Yeah, you never really know what you're going to get. And at the minute, what I'm doing is that a bit further round. Quick before it disappears. Yeah, basically what I'm doing here is that it's quite easy when you're doing landscape photography to think, right, wide angle lens. I mean, look at it, just look at it behind me. It's absolutely stunning. And one of the things I always say when I'm doing landscape photography in particular is that often it's a case of not what you're keeping in your image, but what you're taking out. And with this cloud coming in and dropping down this valley, what it's doing, periodically the tips of these craggy rocks are just appearing out of the cloud. So what I've done is I'm actually zoomed right in at nearly 120mm on this lens, and I'm just focusing on that small point, and it's really making an atmospheric image. It's just, I absolutely love it. It's just fantastic the way that, and every shot is different because it's coming and going. So, and the clouds making shapes as it comes through, and then you'll see this black granite just come through and then disappear again. A minute later it's gone, and you know, it's quite easy to get taken in by all this, and yeah, you know, take those images, But I mean, today it's a little bit difficult for us because what's happening with this cloud is it's dropping down here and it's quite thick, and then the rock's just popping out of it. But then the cloud comes across this valley here, and it's creating like a thin veil of like foggy cloud across the whole scene. So what it's doing, it's making it quite difficult to get an image because you've just got this thin veil of sort of foggy cloud in front of it, which makes it look sort of quite dull. That takes away all the contrast. But for here, I mean, it's just, I could just take pictures of this one thing all day, because the thing is that it's changing every couple of seconds. I'm constantly taking images, and one of these I think is probably going to go on my wall. I might just revert it to black and white, I don't know, but I just absolutely love it. It's just changing all the time. It's dissipating a little bit now, so that's quite nice. I've probably got about 40 images of this, and brilliant. Yeah, it's as you can see, it's starting to ease off a little bit now, and then it'll come again, or it'll completely disappear and we'll be shooting something else. So I suppose I ought to give you a little bit of an update on the camera. I'm really impressed with it so far for landscape photography. I'm particularly impressed with this 24-120 lens. For me, it's a lens that I can probably get away a lot of the time with just taking that lens with me. So if I'm like today, where I'm carrying a lot of gear, this lens means that I've got a wide angle, but I can also get in like I've just done on those images with those more intimate scenes where I'm zooming in onto something. And it also means that I can, at 120, I can pull everything together a little bit and get some of that layering that you get in the mountains, where it pulls those different mountain ranges from the distance. It pulls them all together and you get that lovely layering effect. I mean, ideally, yeah, you'd want a 200mm. That'd be absolutely bang on for doing it. But at a pinch, this works really well. And the images I took earlier on. So, yeah, absolutely fantastic up here today. I'm absolutely knackered now, though. So, yeah, I'm probably not going to get any astro tonight. But yeah, I think we'll probably be wrapping it up in a bit, because I think the sun has just about gone down. Mordor has almost disappeared. Good morning, everybody. Well, I'm not sure how good this audio is going to be today. When we packed up and got into the tent last night, it was really, really calm, completely clouded over. So we sort of said to ourselves, we're not going to get any astro today, so we'll just get some sleep. Anyway, it couldn't be about an hour later, 2 hours at the most. The tent was rattling like wano, and this almost a gale sprang up. So it was a rough night. Not only that, it's absolutely freezing. And I don't know whether you can see behind me, there's not a cloud in the sky. So, although we have got some developing now, which I'll talk about in a minute. But it was absolutely freezing. One of the things not wild camping for a while is that I'd packed my sleeping bag, and as soon as I tried to zip it up last night, the zip broke. So yeah, it's absolutely freezing it's been. So 4 o'clock I decided to stick my head out of the tent and was greeted with clear skies. So anyway, we got out to do a bit of photography, and before we get a coffee actually. The shot I've been taking, I'll show you this first one. I'm not going to turn around because I'm trying to protect the microphone so that you don't get any wind noise, but I'm not sure how successful it'll be. I've got it under my coat at the minute. But if I just spin you round, so this is the shot I've taken. It's actually not as nice as it was earlier, but again I'm looking at layering. So as you can see, there's this black ridge here in front.
So that's basically the foreground of my image. I'm at 120mm on the lens, so I've really zoomed in. And then, although it's not as dramatic in this direction, you have got this layering of the hills as it goes into the background, and there's a little bit of detail in the sky, not a lot. There's quite a few cloud inversions as well as you look into the distance, a bit that they're a lot lower down, and obviously the sun's going to come up over here. So just trying to pull all that together and get that layering effect. Anyway, I'll put that shot up in a minute. So that's the first shot this morning. What we're hoping is that the sun coming up that way is going to light up Loch Nagar in this direction. What's also interesting is it looks like it's galloping over the tops of the hills. It's not coming very quickly, but I don't know whether you can make it out on here. There's some white cloud just skimming the tops of the lower the hills over here, and I'm hoping that that's going to come this way and do something interesting on Loch Nagar, either drop into it or come over the top of it when this sun's coming up in this direction. So we're going to stop up here and do a little bit more photography for a while, as long as we can stand it. Now we're up, and I think the plan then is, as soon as we've done what we can do, get a quick coffee just to warm his hands up, if nothing else, and then we're going to head down this mountain and head back to the car. So anyway, if we get another shot, I'll report it to you, and I'll let you know what I'm doing. In the meantime, I'll put this shot up, and yeah, we'll crack on and stand it as long as we can. Happy July, everybody. Nearly August.
Right, so it was at that point during this video that I realised that I had got a serious sound issue. Now I knew I was getting wind noise on the microphone, but I was assuming I was getting it on the actual microphone that I was wearing, which was under my coat and had a muffler on it, but I was still getting wind noise. What I didn't realise was that was not actually connecting with the DJI action camera that I was using, and the action camera itself was using its own audio, which had no protection from the wind, so hence why the audio became unusable. So really just for this last shot, what I was doing, I was looking down into that corrie with the lock in the bottom. We've got some lovely beautiful morning side light coming into the rock face from one side, and there's quite a nice couple of ridges on either side, just providing a little bit of a frame down into the image. The sky was a little bit boring because there wasn't a lot of cloud coming across at that time, so I did put a 0.9 graduated filter on just to try and darken it down a little bit. Again, I was using the 24-120 lens on the Nikon Z8, but this time at 24mm, just to try and get all that scene in. And it's just really, you know, quite a nice, well, I want to say normal image, so something that you would expect to be taken up there. It's quite a shot that I've seen before, so nothing spectacular. The light makes it really, if anything. And yeah, that was basically it. So after that shot, we got the tent packed up and we made our way down. Now, as you will all know, I'm a wildlife photographer as well, and I did actually haul the Nikon 180-600 lens up there with me as well. In the end, I was glad I did. We did have some red deer up with us, and actually they were quite close to the tent, but it was too dark to take any images at the time. And the same thing in the morning. But on the way down, we actually bumped into some ptarmigan, which were on the rocks. Anybody who knows that climb, there's what they call a boulder scramble area that you have to come up where the path disappears. So you're scrambling over boulders. And there was a group of ptarmigan there, and one of them didn't let me get close enough to take some images, so really useful to take that lens up there in the end. So that was it. We had a great time up there, somewhere where I really want to go back to. I've been intrigued by the ptarmigan as well, so I might try and do a winter shoot up there as well, if the roads are open. Just you know, if we get some nice snow up there, it'd be quite nice to get up there again. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope that the last part there where the sound was a little bit off and I had to abandon it hasn't spoiled it too much for you. I've got another couple of videos coming up fairly shortly, so hopefully you'll stick around for those. If you do want to see those videos and any more of my content, please subscribe to the channel, and as always, it'd be great if you give this video a thumbs up. I'll see you soon for another one. Bye.